Good evening and welcome to our very first virtual community engagement evening. My name is Natalie and I am the social media and marketing manager for Evotel. I'm here with my colleague Bradley, who's going to tell us a bit more about our aerial fiber network solution. Bradley?
Hi, thanks Natalie. My name's Bradley Becker. I'm the head of sales and marketing at Evotel. And as Natalie said, we're excited to invite everyone to this virtual information evening that we're hosting to kind of just speak about what the rollout in Witbank is going to be and what it will look like for the community of Witbank, and just give you a little bit more information about who we are as a company. We've prepared a presentation for everyone to show you who we are. After the presentation, we'll then open the floor to any questions that you might have that Natalie will then assist me with, and I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. So let's dive into the presentation and just show you a little bit about who we are and what we're proud to bring to Witbank. So who is Evotel? Evotel is a fiber to the home network operator that's been connecting communities since 2015. We're an open access fiber to the home network operator delivering a stable yet uncompromised aerial network to all homes in your suburb. What does open access mean? Open access allows you the freedom of choice when it comes to selecting your preferred internet service provider. We are proud to say we have 17 ISPs on our network currently, and we are in the process of adding the likes of Vodacom and Cell C in the next few months. Our line speeds range anything from a 5 megabytes per second line up to a 1 gigabytes per second line, giving you the endless possibilities on selecting the right line speed for you and your household. The next slide is just to show you a little bit more about the benefits of an aerial fiber network and what you can look forward to once this area is live. So faster rollout times, meaning because we deploy the aerial network, we are able to get a suburb live a lot sooner. The reason for that is we do not have to open driveways or sidewalks throughout the whole suburb, and we only open a small trench every 40 meters or possibly every 80 meters to plant a pole where needed. We use a lot of existing infrastructure throughout the build, meaning the build is a lot quicker as we only have to plant new poles where needed. Maintenance and repairs are able to be conducted quite quickly due to the fact that when you trench a network, you have to apply for emergency wayleave should something happen in order for you to open the ground and actually fix the fiber break. With an aerial network, because we have 24-hour access to the network, we are able to repair the network within a 72-hour time frame. Obviously, the benefit of fiber is that it's lightning fast yet stable internet. Fiber is the fastest form of internet that's currently on offer, and we provide a network that is able to provide you with the internet speed that you pay for. Freedom of choice when selecting an ISP. Because we have such a variety of ISPs on our network, we are able to offer almost 400 plus packages on our network from the various internet service providers. What this also allows is it creates a competitive environment within the ISP space, meaning you get the best possible package for the best possible price, as all the ISPs are competing for your business and will make sure that they provide you with the best customer service, as you are able to switch ISPs should you not get that service. And naturally, because there's a competitive environment between the ISPs, you're able to cut your monthly costs down because you're not paying the thousands of rand for internet. Our packages range from anything from 550 rand upwards, meaning you can get fast fiber internet at an affordable price, and in most cases cheaper than ADSL as well as LTE. And then something that we're extremely proud of at Evotel is the free fiber connection that we provide to every single school during our rollout. It's something that we've done since inception of the business, and we continue doing as we roll out into new suburbs as well as into Witbank. Then just to give you an indication of what the Witbank aerial build timeline would look like and what are the different processes that we follow during a rollout of a fiber network in a suburb. Firstly, we start off by conducting an expression of interest survey. This is usually done from a door-to-door point of view, but obviously during this tough period that the country is currently going through, we've had to do it in a different manner. We've used a sales partner to actually start contacting residents within Witbank to find out whether you'd be interested in fibre, explain what fibre is, and just answer any possible questions that you might have then already. We then host an evening similar to this, where we invite everyone to come to this virtual information evening, engage with us, ask us questions, get an understanding of who eVotel is and what a fibre rollout means. We then start with the marking of poles. This is the first phase of the start of the build. What this means is we start identifying where we need to plant new poles. We then give the community the opportunity to then engage with us should those poles not be in a convenient space. We then will meet with you on site with one of the project managers that will then indicate where we can move that pole to. Obviously there are distance requirements, so we'll do it in the best of our ability to ensure that it's not an inconvenience to you. And if you're happy, we then obviously plant the pole where you've indicated. Then the exciting part, once everything has been marked and everyone is ready and all the checks and balances have been done, we start the build and you start seeing poles going up where needed in your suburb, and then ultimately start seeing us string fibre along those poles, as well as the existing poles in your suburb, such as light poles. We then host, just before sign-off of the area, we host another virtual town hall meeting where we interact with the community again to discuss any possible queries that we might have had during the build and address them so that when the area is signed off, everyone is happy and we can get the suburb connected to high-speed broadband internet connectivity. And then I think the last step that everyone waits for the most is getting the final sign-off and saying your area is live and actually conducting and doing installations within your suburb and getting you connected. The next bit is just to show you a little bit more about what our aerial rollout looks like. The first image shows of two contractors planting a new pole where needed. As you can see, a big trench is not needed. It's dug 1 meter deep so that we can securely secure the pole. And we also plant the pole very close to a tree line so that it blends in with the aesthetics of your suburb. The second image is an area that has already been built with our fibre aerial network. As you can see, all the new poles that were planted, again, were planted near trees, just so that we ensure that we don't disturb the aesthetics of your already beautiful suburb. And then the last image is just to show contractors stringing fibre along existing light poles. So on one side of the street where there is existing infrastructure, we will string the fibre along those poles so that we do not have to plant as many poles throughout your suburb. The next slide is just to show you who our valued partners will be in the suburb. We've got two partners that you'll start seeing a lot more of. The first being a partner that we call Fast Fibre. They're our sales partner. Their main role in the suburb is to assist residents in signing up for their in-home installation and getting them to select the internet service provider that best suits their needs and pocket, and just helping with any possible questions that you might have regarding fibre and the benefits of fibre, etc. Your Fast Fibre team, you'll be able to clearly identify with a green reflector vest. So if you do see one of the green reflectors in the vest, please go out, ask them any questions you might have, get a feel for what fibre is, and let them help you sign up so that it's a seamless process. The next next partner is the contractor that will be involved in all the civil works throughout the suburb. This consists of a program manager, 2 project managers, as well as 2 quality assurance managers. And the whole purpose of these gentlemen is to ensure that the build is rolled out smoothly and efficiently. They're there to assist with any queries that might be brought to their attention. And then ultimately the quality assurance people would make sure that the network was built to a standard that we would sign off on and that ultimately would be of value to the community of Witbank. The next slide is just to give you a brief overview of the valued internet service providers that we have on our network. This list grows every single month when we add new ISPs. Because we're an open access network, we will allow any ISP to be able to offer their internet service packages, data packages on our network. And like I said, creating this very competitive environment where ultimately you as an end user benefit from, because it benefits your pocket. Then something that we spoke about briefly is our schools initiative. And it's something that we're extremely proud of. It's something that we take extremely serious at eVotal, and something that we're continuing to push every single month in getting more schools connected. But the eVotal School Initiative program is designed to support the educational needs of our school students. We provide every qualifying school with a free fibre connection. This fibre connection ranges from anything from a 200 megabytes per second line up until a 1 gigabytes per second line. And then we also have various ISP partners that have partnered with eVotal in the schools initiative that then provide the data services free of charge to those schools. So it's a super exciting initiative that we have that we really take serious. And today's scholars will be tomorrow's leaders. Therefore, it's imperative that they have reliable means to access the internet to source their knowledge, conduct their research, and communicate with their peers and industry leaders across the globe. And we can't think of any better way to effectively support and engage with the community it serves. The next slide is something that we like to talk about, and we don't mean to brag. It's just what we've achieved over the last few years that we've been in existence, and something that we're really proud of. We have added approximately 2,000 homes per month to our network, resulting in 17,000 homes passed over the last 2 years. And we're expecting to build past another 80,000 homes in the next year, including Witbank. Our school initiative has had the pleasure of connecting multiple schools with free fibre internet connectivity within our current live areas. And our aim is to connect every school within our rollout as soon as we go live. We have connected over 5,700 residents to our high-speed fibre network with an important average uptime of 99.96% since going live in 2015. I think one of the other important things that we also provide is we are committed to employing as many local contractors to assist with the Witbank rollout. We 100% firmly believe in supporting local businesses such as advertising agencies, etc. And our future plans that we're currently working on is something called Business in a Box. It's a reseller package where we enable the residents within a community to earn an additional income. We provide them with all the marketing collateral, training material, 24-hour support, and give them all the tools to go out into their community and assist community members in signing up for the fibre to the home and explaining what the benefits are, etc. And we pay for every single sale that they would possibly bring in. So it's a nice way of giving back to the community and ensuring that we also do our bit. And then just to maybe briefly speak into the frequently asked questions that we usually get during these virtual town hall meetings, and just maybe to answer some questions that you possibly might have before you ask. One of the first questions we usually get is, won't an aerial fibre network affect the suburbs' aesthetics? eVotal aims to use as much of the existing infrastructure as possible to ensure that we blend into the suburb as much as possible, and ensuring that we don't disturb the aesthetics of the suburb. And we plant them near trees to ensure that this happens. Obviously, in some cases, that's not always the case if there's no trees, but we will do our utmost best to ensure that that is the case. Won't the poles get damaged during storms? eVotal's gun poles are placed 1 meter into the ground and are secured to ensure that they do not fall over. And our fiber cables are protected using a UV sheathing, which means they're not subject, or if they're subjected to weather, etc., nothing would happen to them. They would still be protected nonetheless. Who pays to have eVotal fiber built in their area? So eVotal is a private company investing its own money on the risk that the service is taken up by the community. So we build the suburb at our own risk and using our own investment. How much do I have to pay? eVotal's infrastructure is rolled out at its own cost, as mentioned before, and residents are not obligated to take up the service. We do, however, provision fiber for every single home so that when future residents that possibly purchase a property within Witbank are able to then still connect to the service. So although the resident might not necessarily want the fiber service at that point in time, the opportunity is there for later stage to connect to the fiber network. So you're not obligated to anything, we still provision for every single home nonetheless. Next question, won't the fibre rollout increase cable theft? One of the many benefits to fibre that we didn't mention was it has no street value, as it's not made up of any coppers or metals, meaning the risk of it being stolen is minimal. And again, because it's an aerial network, should anything like that happen, we are able to repair it extremely quick because of having that 24-hour access to the network. I think one of the most important questions that get asked is, will Evotel cut down the trees to string the fibre within the suburb? And at no point in time will Evotel cut any trees down. We are able to actually string the fibre through the trees. And again, our aim is to make sure that we aesthetically do not disturb the community of Witbank. So we do not cut trees at all. What colour are the cables and the gun poles? The cables and the gun poles are black, and we've selected to make sure that they are black to ensure that they blend in with the trees and they're not as visibly visible on the eye. So yeah, again, it just stems into, we try our utmost best to ensure that you cannot see the network, but it is there. What does the pole placement marking mean? So as mentioned before, the first step before construction is we go into a suburb and we mark these pole locations. The contractors will use a specific spray paint that does wash away, so it will not stain your grass or your paving at any point in time. It will wash away. And the reason we put these pole markings is to also then give you the time to identify whether that pole marking is a suitable location for a pole. And if it is not, we then come to site and we ensure that we find a suitable location for yourself so that it's not an inconvenience. And that's basically what that pole marking is. Thank you very much for your time. We look forward to getting Witbank connected. I think we're going to open up the floor now for any questions that you might have asked already so that we can answer them. And Natalie will naturally take over from here.
Sure thing, Brad. So while I give you all a chance to curate your questions that we may not have yet answered for you, I'm going to throw a few questions to you that I've received on social media so far.
No problem.
So a lot of people are wanting to find out, Brad, who do they pay monthly for their services? How does that all work?
Okay, so Evotel is a fibre network operator, meaning we provide the infrastructure, however we do not provide the data services. The ISPs are responsible for providing the data service to the end user, therefore they are also responsible for billing you as a customer. We will never ever bill a customer for anything. That gets done through the ISP, and if you or when you are ready to select a package and commit to a contract of some sort with the ISPs, you phone them directly and they will then schedule your installation with Evotel, and we bill the ISPs directly, not you.
So Brad, we have quite a few ISPs on our network. How do we know which one to choose or who would be the best one to go with? Do we have someone who can help us with that?
So the beauty, Natalie, of an open access network is the opportunity is there for residents to select an ISP that best suits their pocket, not only their pocket but also customer service. We open the floor up to all the ISPs to offer those services to you as a client, and obviously naturally you need to choose what's best for you. Fast Fibre is the selected sales partner within Witbank. They will assist you in signing up with a specific ISP that will suit you. However, you're more than welcome to phone your preferred ISP, and their sales departments will be more than happy to assist you in selecting the right package, as I mentioned, that suits you best.
Great to hear. Brad, one of our viewers, Johan, is asking, if an area is not yet in our rollout coverage map, how do we get it involved?
So I think also one of the many benefits of an aerial fibre network is we're actually able to connect a lot more people than a trench network, because we can deploy quite quickly. So if there are areas that we possibly haven't identified during our Witbank rollout, we are more than happy to engage with residents within those community. We can gather the interest within that community, and we can then get all the necessary wayleave documentation in place so that we can then ultimately service that community should there be the need to. We have an email address called info@evotel.co.za. You're more than welcome to send us an email with maybe just your street address so that we can look at how we can get the network to you and then communicate with you directly.
Perfect. Another thing I wanted to find out, well, our viewers wanted to find out was they wanted to know if there is a problem during any construction phase that we're having, how do they get that rectified? What can they do to move a pole or adjust something that may not be to their standard or needs?
So the project management team is on site all the time. Should you not be able to get hold of one of the project managers on site, you're more than welcome to phone us directly. We will then escalate the matter to the relevant project managers so that they can then contact you directly, set up a time to come and meet you at your property to discuss any possible queries that you might have, or possibly just move the pole to a suitable location. The project management team are there to support and assist residents during this construction period. Obviously, it is a very disruptive process, but we want to make sure that we support you as best as possible. So the project management team are there to help you 24/7.
That's great to hear. Rainier would like to know, what is the typical distance that we place between poles if needed?
So usually we plant a pole for every 2 homes, which in most cases is every 40 meters. There are some cases where we're able to plant a pole every 80 meters. It's all dependent on the rollout of the network and what is actually required in order for us to build a network that is going to last for a very long time. So that's all dependent on the requirements of the build. Like I said, in some cases it could be less than 40 meters, in some cases it could be more than 40 meters. It's all dependent.
Perfect. For example, say somebody had to knock over a pole. Can we expect a very long delay in fixes, or how would that work?
No, not at all. So again, as I mentioned, because the network is built above ground and we have 24-hour access to it, we do not have to apply for emergency way leaves in order for us to repair anything. Our SLA is up to 72 hours. We would get a fix like that, or a break like that fixed. Again, we would send out the contractor to go and rectify the pole and fix any fibre related breakages as well.
Fantastic. Brad, I think we've covered all the questions that we could. So I think that may be all we have for this evening. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and thank you to Bradley for telling us more about fibre and how we can get involved. If there is anything that we haven't yet covered, please feel free to pop us a DM, or alternatively, you can contact us at our various contact points. Have a fantastic evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.